Well, that is it. Summer is over.
We've got our jumpers on.
It's absolutely freezing outside. Well, it feels freezing to us anyway. Because if you have been following us over the past couple of months, you will know that we have spent them in the Caribbean. And it has been an absolutely incredible summer.
Amazing.
But we are back in the UK, back in England, and we're back in our van, preparing for our next big adventure.
We are heading off on a 9-month trip, which is actually going to be the longest road trip that we've done in the van, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But we've only got 3 weeks to prepare for it, which is really tight considering the amount of stuff that we've got to get done. The reason that we've only got 3 weeks is because at the moment we've currently got a 12-month travel insurance policy, and within that year we're only permitted to have, let me get this right, 2 3-week periods back in the UK. Don't ask us why that is, that's just the case. And obviously if we go over that, it, you know, breaches the terms of our travel insurance and then we won't have travel insurance. So yeah, we got back to London and spent a few days with family there, and we're now back at the van on my parents' driveway, and we've got 2.5 weeks to get everything prepared, and we've got a lot to do.
A lot to do is probably an understatement, because we have got a mammoth list of tasks that we need to get done before we can leave, ranging from pretty small jobs like filling the screen wash to pretty big ones like getting Cass through an MOT. Now, assuming that we actually managed to get all of that stuff done on the van, there is one slight problem that might actually stop us from going altogether. And that is that neither of us have valid passports at the moment.
Jay's is about to expire in a few months, and I've not got any blank pages left in mine. I've only got 2 anyway, and you're supposed to have, that's the minimum that you're supposed to have. It says on the government website that you're supposed to allow 10 weeks. So yeah, we don't have that long. We've only got 3 weeks, as you know. So hopefully, fingers crossed now, the busy period is over with the school holidays and whatnot. They should come back quite quickly. Yeah, we're going to have to see. So I'm just going to send our old passports into the post office now to post them to the passport office. And yeah, we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed and hope they're back soon.
This is a moment that I've been nervous about for quite a while, because it is going to be the first time trying to start the van for 2 months. Let's see how this goes. Well, that's not good. I'm going to give it one more go, and then I think it's time to get the battery starter out. If you own a van and you don't have one of these jump start kits, then I would highly recommend that you do get one, because even though we have not needed to use it many times, when you're in the middle of nowhere and your battery is dead or the engine just isn't starting, then you don't need to call anyone. You can literally just do it yourself. You don't need anyone with jump leads, you don't need anyone to drive by or anything like that. It makes you completely self-sufficient in starting your van. So I'm going to try and get this done now. It's absolutely pelting it down with rain, so I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but hopefully it will get it sorted. Hopefully that has managed to fire enough charge into it for it to start. Let's give it another go. Right, that is slightly worrying, because this thing has never let us down before. It usually starts first time when I put that on. So I might have done something slightly wrong when I was setting that up. So I'm just going to have a look through the instructions, remind myself exactly how it works, and then give it another go. Power lights are turned off. Okay, let's give this another try. Absolutely nothing. This isn't looking too good. I've just noticed that the engine light is on, and I've just scrolled through to check the messages, and here's what it says. So battery, alternator, start engine. I think that definitely means that the battery is just absolutely flat. So I'm going to wait a little longer, just give the battery charger a bit more time to just fire some charge into the battery, and hopefully that'll work. Give it 10-15 minutes and then come back. Well, the battery starter was an absolute no-goer, so I've had to go nuclear and call the AA. Fortunately, we do have home start, so that means that they're going to come out. They're aware that it is just the battery, and hopefully they're going to be able to get it started. If not, I think it's going to be a new battery. It started, yeah. It's a bonus. The AA have just left. Basically, what happened was he put a little bit of charge into it. We got it started again with his charge pack, which was a significant amount bigger than our one, and just fired it up. And then he ran some diagnostics on it. He said it was okay, but after it had been running for about 15-20 minutes, he then looked at it again, and actually it wasn't putting in as much charge as it was initially. So he ran a full check on the battery, and it said that it was unserviceable and needed replacing. So we then had the decision as to who should replace it. He did have one of the batteries that we needed in his van, so he gave us a quote. We rang around a few places. Turned out that the AA was pretty much as cheap as Quick Fit and the other places that we looked online as well, so we just went with him. He did it there and then, took about 15 minutes, and we are now sorted with a new battery and 270 quid worse off. Now, I know that is quite expensive as well, but it comes with a 5-year guarantee, and it gives us peace of mind that for the next few years it should be absolutely fine, and certainly for the next big trip that we've got planned. One of the reasons that we were in such a rush to get the battery fixed yesterday is because we have booked ourselves in for a full service and also for an MOT today, this morning, first thing. So it was quite important that we could actually get here. Obviously the battery got fixed yesterday, all working fine, and I have driven to the mechanics this morning. It's actually a new mechanic. We've never been here before because the mechanic that we usually use closed down. We don't need an MOT. The MOT only got done about 4 or 5 months ago. However, because we're going to be gone for potentially 9 to 12 months, we don't want it to run out whilst we're away. So we're getting it done now so that it can last a full year. And hopefully, because it was done so recently, it will just sail through it and it's a bit of a formality, but we'll see. We have got Cas back. We are back in the van. It is the same day. Basically, it went straight in for the MOT. Our new mechanic did all the work that was necessary on it. There was a few bits and pieces that we hadn't done from the MOT that we had 6 months ago, so he did those and a few extra things as well. He just checked it all over. And he says that it's in a really good condition, so we're extremely pleased with that, happy to have her back, and it's great that it's all been done in one day as well. There were a couple of advisories on the MOT, and both of them for the same thing. Basically, the tracking on our front wheels is slightly out, and the way that the mechanic explained it to me is that the wheels are slightly inverted like that, which means that they're wearing on the inside a bit more than they should be.
We had a notification today to say that our passports have been printed and they are going to be going out for delivery over the next few days. I don't know whether that means they're going to be delivered in the next few days or they're just in the process of starting to be delivered. I don't know. Anyway, it's good news because they've been printed. You might notice we are not in the van. We're actually in my mum's car because we've got to go around and do a couple of errands today and it's just easier to park. So first of all, we've got to go to pick up Jay's laptop, which is something that we really A, didn't need the expense of, and B, just didn't need another thing to do, but his trackpad broke, so we had to get a new one, and also my battery's been playing up, so we're getting a new one of those as well while we're there. Yeah, so that's the first thing that we've got to do today, and then we've got to go and get my last rabies jab. And we've got to go ages away to a clinic to get that, but yeah, we'll tell you more about that when we get there. We're just on the way to get the laptops. Just while James is in getting the laptop sorted then, the reason that I need to go and get a rabies jab is because I just decided to get a course as well. If you were following our adventures in Morocco, you'll know that James and AD both had to have some while we were there and then follow-ups when we got back because they got attacked by a cat. I didn't need them at the time, but it turns out that you do actually get a lifetime immunity if you have a course of 3 and then a 4th one within 3 years or 5 years, I think it is. So as they'd both had them, I thought, you know, I may as well get them as well. So I had the first 2 and yeah, I need to get my third one to give me my full protection as it is at the moment. Unfortunately, they're not actually that easy to get in the UK, as in the clinics that do them are quite few and far between. So we've got to drive, I think it's about an hour and a half to a clinic that we can get one from. So yeah, I'm going to go get that today. The other reason that I wanted to get them is because, like Morocco, Turkey also has loads of stray animals, particularly cats. So yeah, it just makes sense, given what happened, that we've all got full protection for going over there.
The final thing that we're trying to get today is snow chains, because apparently we're going to need them in some of the countries that we are going to be going through. However, it is proving a little bit more difficult than we thought. Nowhere that we have been to actually stocks of these, so we're going to have to just try and get them online.
Jay reckons that we are not going to be going anywhere where there's snow, but I keep telling him, like, it might just happen. Like, we can't predict that. It happened in Morocco that there was some snow, and we need to be prepared for the roads.
It really feels like we're running out of time. We have got just a couple of days left, and most of those days are going to be taken up with seeing family and friends, so we don't really have that much time to spend on the van, which is making us a tiny bit stressed. However, we've got a plan today. It is to divide and conquer, so me and Sarah are going to be working off different things in the list, and hopefully we can get it all done. One thing that we never mess about with is keeping our tanks clean. I did do them both before we went to Grenada. However, because it has been sat for a couple of months and there might have just been a tiny little bit of water left in the fresh tank, I do want to clean it out again and just make sure that the grey tank is completely empty and has got any of that residual stuff out as well. So that is what we're going to do first. Okay, we just have to let that sit and let it do its magic, and I can move on to other things. Next job is to fill the screen wash with something that will cope with the cold weather that we might be experiencing.
Something that happened a few months ago that we've been wanting to fix ever since is this table here. Basically what happened is we had to brake really sharply and the table flew out and smacked into a little edge on the side of the cooker and got damaged. So the idea is, rather than kind of replacing the whole front there, I'm going to try and just glue it back together with some wood glue and clamp it and then paint it and see if that turns out okay. And while I've got the paint out, there's also quite a few other chips and like scratches and just discolorations, I guess, on the white woodwork, so I want to get those tidied up as well. Obviously living in a van with a toddler takes its toll on the interior, and we have lived in here for, it'll be coming up 3 years soon, so yeah, it does just get wear and tear, so it'll be nice to get that all freshened up again before we hit the road. As if we didn't have enough to do, I put all the bedding from the bed into the shower here, and Jay's sorting out the water system so it didn't have any water in it, and either AD has turned it on or I knocked it, which I'm pretty sure I didn't actually, as I was putting the bedding in there, but the shower was turned on, so as Jay's filled the water tank up with water, it's just started coming out of the shower and literally gone all over our bedding. So all of that is absolutely soaking. This actually looks worse than I thought it was. When I've started looking at it, half of the wood's come out from inside. So probably should really get another piece of wood and just put that back on, but we haven't got one, and wood's quite expensive. We'd have to get like quite a big sheet so that it was wide enough. We'd also have to go to the shop to get that, which means packing the van up, moving the van, we just don't have time to do it, so I'm just going to pack it and fill it as best that I can, and hopefully that'll be okay for now. So I was just about to take the doorknobs off these to paint them and realised that unfortunately I can't do that because when we did them, we filled the other side so they looked nice and neat on this edge, so there's actually no way of unscrewing them. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Don't do that in your van build.
Something that we usually take the opportunity to do when we're back for any sort of a period of time is to pretty much clear everything out of the van and to kind of repack it, just to make sure that we've got everything that we need and that there's nothing in there that we don't need. So that's the job that I'm going to do now.
Obviously the van is moving a lot of the time, so the motion does just cause kind of things to come a bit loose or cracks to appear and stuff, so especially around the back window area just there, it looks a little bit untidy because the filler is like cracked and stuff. So I'm just going to put a little bit more in, just going to put a really thin coat of this on because I need it to dry really quickly so that I can get it painted over. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do as thorough a job as we would like to because we just don't have the time, but I think it is going to look a lot neater and fresher in here after today. That's all the filling done that I'm going to do anyway. Little bit sanded down that needed to be, and everything's all been wiped down so I'm not just painting on top of muck. Of course that wouldn't be a good idea. Like I say, some of the handles I literally just can't take off. So obviously I know that ideally we would be taking all the fixtures and fittings off before we painted and then putting them back on again, so that was much easier to do and a lot neater. I'm just gonna have to be obviously really careful around the handles so that I don't get paint on them. Feel a little bit silly that we did that now during the van build, but obviously we didn't think about repainting it in the future. So yeah, it is what it is. That's this section done here then. It actually didn't take too long. I am cheating as well by not taking everything off the wall, so things like this little compass here that we have and the mirror, we have them fixed on really well, so that so they don't fall off while we're moving. So actually taking them off would cause me a lot more work because it's going to like pull the paint off to pull them off with what we have them stuck on with. So yeah, I'm just really carefully painting up to and around them, which again I know isn't the best, but that's what we're doing. Well, I think we're probably painting more than we intended to because it's hard to know where to stop. Like, it's not that discoloured, but there is a slight discoloration between like the new paint and the old paint. So wasn't intending painting on this wall, but we're having to do it anyway, so yeah, sure it'll look nice in the end. That is the painting done, but that is about as much as we are going to get done today, unfortunately, because we've got to put the van back together because we've got to go see some family. It's really hard to balance that when you've got so much to do to set off on a big trip, but really one of the main reasons that we even come back to the UK at all, other than kind of just life admin stuff, is to spend time with family. So yeah, we're going to get the van sorted, get all packed up and get off and do that. Catch you later.
Today on the job list, first thing is new tyres, and I'm in a little bit of a rush because I do have to get there quite quickly this morning. Let's get on the road. Tyres are all sorted. I'm pretty pleased with them. They look pretty chunky, like they're going to be able to take on anything this winter. Fingers crossed, eh?
If you've been following us a while, you'll know that we've had a couple of problems with the filter for our diesel heater. It just keeps leaking, so I've replaced it twice now, I think. And the problem is, because it's a plastic filter, when you put the fuel pipe on each side and tighten it with the Jubilee clips, it's really easy to either not have it tightened enough so it leaks anyway, or over tighten it so that it crushes the little plastic nibs on the end, and then yeah, it just leaks again. So we've got a really slow leak on it at the moment, which it still means that we can run our diesel heater. It's fine. We've just had like a piece of kitchen towel like stuffed underneath it, just kind of collecting the diesel. But obviously it's not ideal and it does stink in the garage, but you can't actually smell it in the living space. But I think we've managed to find a good solution, because we've managed to get a metal filter. So it's exactly the same as the plastic one that's on there, the same size, shape, everything, but because it's metal, these two bits on the end here hopefully aren't going to get crushed, and I can get it tightened up nice and tightly so that it doesn't leak. Let's do this. That's that on then. I did actually have the filter on the wrong way last time. A few people pointed that out. I don't see how that would have made any difference to it actually cracking and breaking. I might be wrong, but I've made sure that that's on the right way this time anyway. That's all that back in place. Jay's just gone to turn the heater on. We've got some diesel in, so we'll see how this works. Check if we've got any leaks or not. True to form, we are in England, of course, and what's it doing?
Absolutely pelting it down. This always happens as soon as we start anything on the van.
You can probably hear the pump has kicked in now, so that's pulling the diesel through. That's been running a little while now then, and there doesn't appear to be any leaks, which is good news, but we'll leave it on a little bit longer. It is quite cold today anyway, so we'll give the heating a good run through, because we've not had it on for months and months. Just double check that that is all good to go. That's the diesel heater all up and running then. We've had it running for about 10 minutes. There's no leaks. It's working absolutely fine. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to keep working all over winter and keep us nice and toasty and warm. But that isn't even the good news. Guys, the postman has just been, and we've only got our passports. They're here. So we can leave. Go on then, tell us what you're doing.
I'm booking the tickets to France. I'm booking the Eurotunnel tickets.
Yay!
It's pretty exciting.
So now we've just got to get through the last of the things on the list of everything that we want to get done before we leave. Well, we've still got the front of the table to finish here. The filler's currently still drying at the minute, and then I need to sand that and paint it. But other than that, I think we're pretty much ready to go. What do you think?
We're getting there. I'd say there's still quite a long way to go, but yeah, we're getting there.
Guys, we're leaving tomorrow morning. Like, it's really, really creeping up on us now. So we're just like rushing around, like trying to get the last bits of washing done and like sorting out cupboards for like bits and bobs that we don't need to take, and making sure that we've got stuff out of Mum and Dad's loft that we do need to take, because we keep stuff up there that's like seasonal. But it's really hard to work out for this trip because we're going to be away for so long. So I don't know, I think we feel like we're taking a lot of stuff, right?
We are taking a lot of stuff.
Like, our cupboards, like, they've never been this full. So, yeah, we might need to shed a few things as we go, maybe.
Well, we are really getting there now, and it feels really close. It feels like we're actually going to do it, which I wasn't so sure about a couple of weeks ago, but the last few things that we have to do are to make sure that everything in the van is full. So I need to go out and find some LPG, because it's not actually that common around here. So there's only one garage that I know of that sells it, and it's about a half-hour journey. So I'm going to fill up with LPG, fill up the diesel, and grab a few bits and pieces from the supermarket as well. And hopefully that'll mean that we can get an early night tonight, get some good night's rest, because it is a long drive that we've got coming up tomorrow. Well, that was a wasted journey. It wasn't a totally wasted journey, because I did manage to get a few bits and pieces of shopping. However, we still haven't got the LPG, which is a little bit annoying, but it is sold pretty much everywhere in France. So we know that once we get across the Channel Tunnel, we should be able to pick some up there. Other than that, I think we're virtually ready to go.
Well, today is the day. It's here. We are going to be leaving my parents' driveway this morning, bound for Dover, ready to get the Eurotunnel over to France tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're ready. We have to be anyway, because yeah, we gotta go. But yeah, just feeling a proper mix of emotions this morning, like excited to get on our way and get on a new adventure, and just all the kind of emotions that come with that. But also just feeling really sad as well, because I don't know, we've been travelling for 8 years now, and this part never gets any easier, leaving family and knowing that it's going to be a while before you see them again, but it just feels so much harder this time because of AD, and I think especially at the moment because she's that little bit older and she's developed such strong bonds with people now, and she's going to have changed so much by the next time that we're back and stuff. It just I don't know, I've just got proper mum guilt because I feel like we're taking her away from people, and yeah, it's just really hard to balance everything because obviously I know rationally that living the life that we do enables us to actually spend more time with family, because we wouldn't just be able to take weeks off work to come and stay at my mum and dad's, for example, whereas, you know, we quite easily do that now. You know, we spend weeks at a time with family, and she, you know, she gets to have like proper quality time with them, not just like the odd day here or the odd weekend or afternoon and stuff, and you know, we can't just live on my parents' driveway. That would definitely not make me happy and make me a terrible mum. But yeah, it's just, you know, we've got to get off and do what we love and what we need to do. So I think I'll feel much better once we get on the road and stuff. But yeah, there's going to be a few tears this morning. Right, that's it. We're away. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling relieved that we've managed to get it all done, because I'm not going to lie, it was pretty touch and go at some points over that past couple of weeks, and there was so much that was out of our hands, the passports and yeah, the MOT and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased now and ready to get going.
We've just realised that we haven't actually told you where we are headed, so drop your guesses about that in the comments below and we will make sure that we fill you in on our itinerary in the next video. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ding that little alarm bell thing so you get notified next time we post a new video. Catch you then.